Hi everyone, welcome back. I have just finished these two books, The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. This is by Andrzej Sapkowski. It's The Witcher. I have this Witcher project, so to speak, ongoing, and I finished Sword of Destiny just a few minutes ago. I just wanted to share my immediate impressions of the book. No means a book review, but a reflection on what I felt. I feel strongly engaged. I'm very happy to eagerly continue to The Blood of Elves later today. And first of all, these two books, which are short stories all around, and the Blood Elves is the beginning of the Witchersaga, which I'm really pumped up for now. 13 short stories, very high quality, I would say, very different character. And I think overall, you can say that the stories are very entertaining, they are humorous. I don't know if you call it sword and sorcery fantasy, but a little bit of D&D fantasy in a way, but it's also very, very shady fantasy, very dark, actually very grim dark fantasy. You all know we follow the Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, a monster hunter, a monster slayer. He does this for money, and safe to say is that he is not, convinced if what he's doing is the right thing. Is if it's a good thing, if he's destined for this or not. He has a lot of introvert philosophical musings, not to the extent of Malazan Book of the Fallen. This is not a Malazan book, I would say, but still, it's very rewarding to read about his struggle. And I only touched upon his journey. As you know, I'm playing the game, the video game, and I'm learning Geralt of Rivia, and maybe you know more than I know. But for me, he's a very interesting character. Reminds me a lot about Bruce Wayne in Batman, and also Dexter Morgan, which I touched on before, basically because he has a lot of codes, you could say. He has a code to maybe restrict himself to, not to listen to his feelings too much. He's a bit numb in that way. I also think that the two first books are lore preparations. I'm very sure of that since I'm playing the Witcher 3. So I know that many of the characters that have been introduced in these two books are coming back. It's like Yennefer of Vengerberg, and we have Triss here. We have Dandelion. We have a guy called Dudu, a Doppler, and we have Siri, of course. There are more characters, but these are I think, the characters that stuck to my mind. Maybe there are more because I don't know if they will come back in the later books. I think there are a lot of lore connected to the world as well, and that is connected to the Wild Hunt, of course, which I will not spoil for you. Maybe it's no spoiler for you. Please tell me in the comments below if you really feel, acquainted and knowledgeable about which world, then I don't need to be so picky with spoilers. I could go right to talk about my thoughts immediately instead. I think we also get the backstory of Geralt a little bit, at least from what I know. I would like to just address a few short stories that I really enjoyed, and that is um, The Lesser Evil, that's in Last Wish. And basically, it's about a lot of things, but between two bad choices, or what do we choose? Do we choose the good, or do we choose just between two different evil things, and one is lesser evil than the other? I think that's interesting. I think these short stories has this folklore quality really, that makes you think about the choices the characters make, and also you really feel like this is a story told around the when you were a child, in school, and maybe someone told fairy tales for you or folk tales for you. I don't know if that happened in the country where you are in or where you grow up, but not so much here in Sweden anymore. I can definitely say that, but it happened when I was small that people were telling stories to each other, or teacher was telling stories to us. And I think apart from a few things in Sapkowski's book, which are not for children, I would say, maybe for young adults, absolutely, and up. Um, but it's mature themes and violent themes and so on in the books. There's a lot to say about The Witcher, and also with the second book, we also have The Last Wish, which is the name of the first book. It's one I really enjoyed. I can't tell you so much about that, but it's about Geralt, and it's about Yennefer, who you will get to know in the books more and more. In Sword of Destiny, I really enjoyed the Sword of Destiny. I think better. I think it was more coherent than The Last Wish, which are short stories. And I listened to Sapkowski, and he told us that he was publishing this for a Polish fantasy magazine, Fantastica, and the stories grew on him and on the readers as well. So maybe that's the reason the cohesiveness is better in Sword of Destiny. And the Sword of Destiny has many great stories. I basically read it from page 1 to the end in a quick tempo. Actually, we have one called The Bounds of Reasons, which I will discuss later here on the channel, which almost feels like they're about to kill or to hunt a dragon, at least, or investigate a dragon. And you can say that the group which Geralt is part of, and the Delian too, it's very dysfunctional, almost a bit of Vox Machina. There is a lot of humor in this story, and a very surprising end, I would say. But then I think we have the Sword of Destiny in itself. I think that story is great. I read that one today together with something more. I think the Sword of Destiny, which takes place in a forest, Brokilon, if I remember it right now. Just finished the book, and the atmosphere and the immersiveness that Sapkowski brings to us readers when it comes to dense forests with the dryads in this case. And this is not, black and white. So we could say the dryads are environmentalists in a way, protecting the forest and so on. And maybe you can expect that everyone will side with them. Maybe it's not so easy. You will learn a lot when you are reading the Sword of Destiny. It was great. It really captured my nostalgia from fantasy when I was small, and today very good weather for reading the Sword of Destiny short story, because it's raining here. It's autumn, a very early autumn. We'll see if it changes. And then I read the end story here, or the last story, Something More. Very, very good. I think it really prepares me for the Blood of Elves, the first book in the Witchersaga. I wanted to reflect a bit about the of Geralt, and I will come back to that in the videos later, especially next week. I think he has it's a lot of humor in the books, and I think his humor is great. It's very sarcastic, I would say, in a way, cynical, and you can almost read the humor between the lines sometimes as well. One thing I reacted on with Geralt is that he himself, since he's a witch, and witches are, special, if not a race, they have special characteristics, and they have traded you could say the magical powers they have for a lot of other things that makes them non-human, you could say. So and people are afraid of the witch hunters, and they are afraid of Geralt, for example. And I think Geralt, it seems like he's used a bit because he only does work for money, and sometimes he meet noblemen and barons, etc., who wants to hire him. But since Geralt has very high standards and high requirements for taking an assignment, but those hiring him, they think they own him more or less, so they can use him how he wants. So I think he's a bit of a slave under the contract. The contract he's signing and he's working with. So he's not so free, and it's not a superhero, you could say, like maybe someone in Marvel or DC, even if it's something very, very different. However, he is a kind of anti-hero, and he has absolutely superhero qualities, Geralt. He uses science, as you probably know, many different science, Agni art, and so on. But I think he understands that he's different. He's a stranger, and he lives in this strangeness, being different. But there are a few times in both the books where this is questioned by his friends or colleagues, you could say, if he just pretends to live in this otherness, or is it really so that he is different? I think that's an interesting take on being different or living in this difference. Is it so, or is Geralt exaggerating this? Is he a martyr, you could say, right? Is he playing the victim card from time to time, or is he really so odd and different? That goes also with his feelings. He claims many times in the books that he's numb, he has no feelings, but that is contradicted and agitated against by some of the people he meet in the book. And you judge for yourself. If you only played Witcher 3, the video game, or the Witcher 2 one, etc., or played the board game, I mean, I really urge you to read the books and really think about that. You see, does Geralt have feelings? It seems so, just a hint, but he himself has this very strict view on himself being emotionally numb and different. I think that's one of the main takes of the Witcher books so far, I think. I also think that there's a lot of things going on here, a lot of themes. There are political themes, I would say, not political, but military strategic themes. There is an empire here, there are wars, there are powers, kings are fighting against each other. We just get a glimpse of that in the first two books. I expect to get more in the Witchersaga, but that's an aspect, of course, the power struggles between the kingdoms in the Witcher world. It seems very, very complicated, and it seems like total war, I would say. This is all about civil war, and you also have this wild hunt, a kind of gathering, as I understand it, when magic leaked into the Witcher world, and mortals, not only mortals, as I understand it, used these to their advantage. They thought, but maybe it doesn't become so advantageous for them. I don't know. We'll see. It's a grim world. It's a Slavic mythology, very horrible, very terrible, a lot of monsters, and that is, of course, also a theme in the books. Monster, who is a monster? That goes through many, many short stories. Who is a monster? And why do we need monsters? And why do you read about monsters? I think that's an interesting question to ask yourself when you're reading. Also, the question about destiny is central in, especially in the Sword of Destiny, right? So, do you believe in destiny? I can ask you. Read Sword of Destiny, and ask yourself, do you believe in destiny? I do. Maybe you don't. Let's see. Um, there is a lot of things to say. I will continue to break down the novels or the two books and short stories during next week. Please, if you want me to focus on something special, please write it in the comments below. And or if you want me to focus on some character or anything else in the Witcher world, please tell me. So more book focus next week on Witcher. I hope to see you there. And the last thing I would like to tell you, of course, is that the while playing the Witcher 3 game today, I was so happy because I think they skillfully you can find books in Witcher 3, for example, The Last Wish, and then it's a summary of The Last Wish. So I think they are very honest to the source material of Sapkowski and really honor it. So if you play Witcher 3, it's not, I don't think it's like that. Okay, I played the video game, so I don't need to read the books. I think it works the other way around. Or maybe someone who plays the video game says, "Oh, Witcher, it's also books, so I think I have to read books." So I think that's how it goes with the video games. They are actually increasing the numbers. As well with the Netflix, still I haven't watched it. I'm waiting to read it all. So just this was my first impressions. Have you read the book? If so, please add your impressions. Maybe you remember how it was the first time you read those two books, The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. Please tell me. As you see, maybe here I'm very engaged in this, and I'm very happy because it was you, many people out there, who advised me to start with Witcher. So thank you very much. Does this mean that this is a Witcher channel now? No, it doesn't. Malasa content will continue, and Sun Eater content will continue, Pillars of Eternity content will continue, and so on and so forth, and mythology overall, of course. Do you know more about Slavic mythology? If you do, please write in the comments below as well if you know a great source material for that to read more about it. So until next week, I mean, it's already Sunday and it's soon next week. See you. Bye.